Hello everybody, I'm Rufio Phoenix, and tonight we're going to do a captain's log regarding the topic that seems pretty popular in a lot of guys' voices lately. I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube lately looking for inspiration for my own topics to go with on YouTube, and in this case, self-isolation and how it affects you. I'd like to first add that this shit drove me fucking crazy because of fucking COVID. So let me just say there are ways to like cope with this. And no, being alone is not for the faint of heart. You gotta have heart, kid. You gotta have spunk. You gotta have some flow. And you gotta have a means. Because if you don't, you're a sitting duck. All right? And trust me when I tell you that's not a good thing. I've seen a lot of guys talking about how they're unemployed at 30-something and whatnot. I'm currently unemployed, but that's okay. I have a good amount behind me backing me until I get my next job, which will probably be sometime during the summer. I don't know why it is, but I like to work during the summer and the fall the most for some reason. I don't know. I'm just crazy, all right? Don't listen to my work hours. Do you. Let me do me. You do you and I'll do me, all right? Cool. All right. But I do want to impress that being alone for extended periods of time is not healthy for the human animal. I'd like to deepen this quandary with a quote. The human animal is a beautiful and terrible creature, capable of limitless compassion and unfathomable cruelty. Anything which denotes the dividing line and readies the human race for the end of extinction, all because of the lack of the ability to show remorse or feel regret. And that's what's leaving the earth. And that's why you feel so depressed. That's why you hear all those thoughts in your head about, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, if only I did this. Man, he's got it figured out. Oh, he knows what's going on. Now he has the money. Why ain't he working? Oh, you know, there's a lot that could come up in that silence. But in it, you will find that there is even peace, zen, in chaos. With all that chaos, since chaos is all embracing, all things encompassing, that includes peace. Find it and make a base camp. Maybe you're disabled and you can't work. That's simple. I can help you. But you need to understand people will judge you even if you have the best job in the world. It doesn't matter what you do in life. What matters is that you do right by you and your parents, and if you have children, your children. That much is imperative. If you haven't had kids yet, you don't have to worry about that. But I am going to put the curse on you. Just wait till they give you gray hairs. So, all right, but here, listen. To be able to enjoy the silence, you need to first feel it. And it feels like inner stillness, boring, without motion, but not without life. It is a place of tranquility if you do not let your thoughts intrude. Be strict with your thoughts. Be careful with your mind. It is a magnet, and it will attract anything that it wants, or craves, or desires. Dreams come to reality from the abyss of who knows what, just because of human thought. Control your mind. A great way to do this is in the philosophy of Miyamoto Musashi, the Art of Five Rings, the Art of Discipline. It's simple. One mind. Kaizen. To have one mind and nothing more. One thought. The only thing you will need. And to focus on every aspect of what it can be used for and done with. That is what you're looking for. There is a cure somewhere in the silence, as there always it will be, as there is always everything in chaos. To say the least, a lot of people, the reason that a lot of guys seem to be emo dumping about how their life isn't going the way they planned. Look, my life isn't going the way I planned. You know what I planned on being when I was like 10 years old? I planned on being a rich fucking motherfucking billionaire with all the money, all the fuck you money to dump. Here's 500K straight into your account, the latest Yu-Gi-Oh deck, and here's a new car to my best friend, you know? I wish I could do what Mr. Beast does, but I envy him. I'm not jealous. I envy him. That kind of benevolence is not easy to find. That's a characteristic that only angels can grant to humans. Do not take it so lightly. While you are alone and on your venture where you may have been doing this for some years or so, I want you to keep this in mind. You're only beginning to see. You know how Neo first started out? He went to the Oracle in the Matrix, and she said, sorry, but you're not ready, kid. Well, guess what, honey? Sorry, you ain't ready, kid. You got to let go of that baggage. All that, oh, my life isn't going the way I want. Fuck that. Tell me what you want it to be, and then make it happen. Vocalize enough beat, and maybe it'll come to life. You never fucking know. Earth has a funny way of surprising people. If there's anything I know about humans, it's that human energy is the most valuable resource that any of the upper elite tier echelon of societies would know to use the most. And the reason for this is because if you can conduct people in such a way that their energy is released into production and progress, eventually what you will have is an empire. Now, an empire in America can be small, but mighty. If you have the right people, it only takes about 4 motherfuckers to go ahead and tear down the entire ecostructure. Everything about the economy, gone in an instant, just with a cyber attack. 4 motherfuckers could do this if the elite trained did it for them. You know, if they did it with the elite trained coding experience, like they knew every in and out of a keyboard that you could possibly have. Even the CIA, the Pentagon, can't parry an attack like that. Now, just imagine if 100,000 people did at the same time. How are you gonna target that many to arrest? You know, that's a real threat. Anonymous recently did this to Russia. They organized cyber attacks on Russia. You know what's funny? They're introverts. Those people believe in hiding their existence from society for a noble cause of selfless activism. Now, if I didn't know any better, I'd say they're just pious. But then again, so was Guy Fawkes. Massive introvert, was very self-isolated, thought to himself, if I blew up Parliament, the problems would go away. And so now we celebrate Bonfire Night on November 5th every year. Even the most myopically small, the most microscopic thing can change the course of history. Never doubt the power of the atom. I see a lot of men talking about how their life isn't going their way. And brother, I understand. I know. You know, I didn't intend for my leg to get broken so that I can barely stand up on it. And if I get to pace in my apartment, that's about as much exercise as I can handle on a regular basis unless I go to the gym and start forcing myself to take like Tylenol and Advil before going and whatever else just so that I can do the leg press and regain stamina in my right leg. You know, and even then it's not a permanent solution. It'll still hurt like hell and I'll have to wait in between. You know? Now, I get it. You might be experiencing some thoughts of, well, why would I ever want to work? I mean, think about it. Statistically, everything shut me out of everything. You're right. And oddly enough, there's still such a thing as a way to win. You know? What you lack is not self-control. What you lack is not a sense of urgency. What you lack is not ambition or drive or motivation. What you lack is very obvious to me. What you lack is a sense of piety. You lack the sense of faith that optimists have when chasing opportunity. I'm an opportunist by nature. I'm actually very optimistic in life. Now that I'm on the right meds, I'm pretty optimistic. I'm back to my normal self, and my normal self is quite the intellectual. And honestly, from self-reflection, I'd say I've done a lot of self-reflecting and a lot of different shadow work to be able to get to where I am now. So when I see other guys posting on their YouTube channel videos talking about how their life isn't going their way, I want to look at them and say, okay, so you're unemployed. All right. You have a life behind you, so you must have something going on. You know? Otherwise, you wouldn't have that. You know? The trouble with putting your life on track and becoming financially stable, I am financially stable. I'm financially free to an extent. I'm still to a degree in like I'm somewhere in the middle class at this point. So working class pretty much. But I can honestly tell you that getting there took a lot. It took me to isolate. It took me to get out in public and start socializing. It's been an ongoing battle just to be able to stay social with people where there are a lot of people who I just, you know, you get it. I'm sure that said enough. But, I think that like, even then, I went from being an introvert. Now, as an introvert, I am an INFJ. I'm the rarest of personality types out there. Now, on the flip side, I'm also an INFJT according to the Myers-Briggs typology system. That means that it's turbulent. I can flip the switch back over to an extrovert like that. And if on the other side, I am an ENFJ. Okay? The problem that comes from knowing that you were once introverted and then learning that you didn't have to live alone like that is such a wake-up call. And I wish more of you would get out there and touch grass and meet some people. Yeah, you may not like every one of them, and most of them you probably want to avoid. But there are still good people. They're hard to find, but they're just like you. Stuck in their home, stuck in their head, bitchless, without a clue in the world about how to have responsibility or a sense of decorative decorum, a sense of propriety even. Not many people have that anymore. They don't talk like they did in the Old Testament, and that's for damn sure. My mom initially raised me Catholic. So yeah, you be damn skippy, I know the Old Testament like the back of my hand. When I tell you, you don't have to devote your life to God to be able to see the truth. You need to be able to devote your life to being better, even 1% better than you were the day before. You need to. Right now, I'm trying to figure out what job would best suit me now that I'm having like potential problems come up with politics and whatnot. I need to have a backup plan, right? So I'm doing that right now, and behind the scenes, you wouldn't know if I didn't tell you, but that's what's going on. I'm working out the kinks. I'm 34 in March. People my age, even from my generation, like all of my classmates of 2009 from graduation, all of them have turned to drugs and alcohol. They're all so disgusting now. I don't know a single person who doesn't come to my house and have a cigarette in their hands and I have to tell them to go outside to smoke. I don't know a single person who doesn't. If life was so hard to cope with, then why did we become self-aware, right? And the truth is because we used enough psilocybin back in the ancient days that it made us self-aware genetically, inheritably for the rest of our existence. It changed our DNA forever. And this is way back when the Book of Enoch was written. So like, don't ask me about how long ago. I don't fucking know. A long time ago. Just think about this. If you're in your head, get out of it. Talk to yourself. Maybe even if you believe in God or a higher power, talk to it as if you're addressing the air. Listen with your mind to what it may tell you. Not everything will be true. Nothing that you think is ever true. Not unless you know it. You can only believe what you do not know. Therefore, you must know God to know God. Just like you can't know God because you can only believe in God. But if you know God, then you can hear him speak into your mind and heart. Stay awesome, Ninja. Drink coffee. Be awesome. Be excellent. I'll see you in another video. If you'd like me to go more into detail about self-isolation, drop me some comments about things you'd like me to go over, about experiences that maybe experiences I've had, or some of my shadow work. I can go get a book out from when I was journaling it. I can do that. Peace, guys. Self-isolation really isn't that bad. It's just the beginning.